Hello, welcome to Dr. Zizi's Chinese language and culture classroom. Actually, take this as our chatting room. And today I'm going to share with you a very strange and peculiar and even like weird, very uncommon marital practice in northwestern China. This culture is dying, is disappearing, but has not completely disappeared yet. The practice is called招夫养夫. If I translated it word for word, it would be recruit her husband to support her husband. So there is no mistake. You're right. There are two husbands involved. Actually, it means to recruit a new husband to support a disabled husband. So the situation is like this. If a family is happy and very, harmonious, but for some reason, somehow the husband becomes very sick, chronically sick, and there's no hope for him to recover. Or if the husband underwent a very serious injury and therefore disabled and has lost his function as a husband and as a main breadwinner of the family, because this happens in the countryside and particularly in the past when a family is mainly supported like a pillar of the family, and if he lost his ability to work in the fields to support the family, then the wife will face basically three choices. Number one, to divorce and to abandon the family, which is in most cases very hard and heartbreaking. All right, so it happens, and some people choose to do so. Or even the husband's family, the husband's side would encourage the woman to divorce and to make a healthier family. There are a lot of situations like that. So this is the first choice for the woman. The second choice for the woman would be to stay with the family, stay with her husband, and then to take all the responsibilities, like working in the fields and all the hard labor work that are supposed to be done by the man and by the husband. The wife will have to take all these responsibilities on her shoulders. So that would be a very challenging, very trying situation for her. Usually if they have the kids, it will take many years for the kids to grow up and to support the family, to share the hard labors from the mother. So this would be the second choice. The third choice is called, is what we are talking about. It's called 招夫养夫. So if there is really no hope for the husband to recover, but there is also no hope for the husband to pass away immediately. So this is very likely to be a very long and enduring, very hard life, long journey for the family to go on, to keep on going. So under these circumstances, the husband or the husband's sides, like the extended family, like the woman's in-laws and the relatives or the villages, will encourage, that's right, to encourage or to allow the wife to find another husband. Usually they will look for one that is related to the family, like a cousin of the husband. But sometimes if no such man is available, they will find somebody that, number one, is honest and it's that has a good heart, and number two is able to work in the fields and to support the family, including the disabled husband. All right. So they will look around, or sometimes there is one already ready there. The man will marry into this family. So what happens to the existing marriage? Well, because this is more commonly practiced like 1 or 2 centuries back, and very rarely, and I do not know how that solves the problem, but basically in the history of China, there is no official, at least in my part of China, in northwestern China, there is no official marriage certificate, which means you're not going to violate any marital law. So there is no issue with that. Probably if they have to, they will say that the woman is divorced with the first husband, but without abandoning him, or without the woman abandoning the family. Okay, and then she'll marry this new husband. This probably it would be the situation. I tried to find out this when I interviewed the villagers, but since this is a heartbreaking thing, many people choose not to talk about this. But the second possibility would be, since there is no marital law, marriage is just between the willingness of the man and a woman, or man and a woman. So there should be no issue at all. So as long as they agree each other, they have the agreement in the 3 parties, actually, the ex-husband or the former husband, the wife, and the new husband. Okay, so that's why this is called a 招夫养夫. You found this new husband and to support this existing and disabled husband. This practice was more like, how do I say it? It happened more in the past, because back then there was less like a support, community support, or like a societal support, and also there was no strict marriage laws. So it should be a little more common in the past. What I say in past is like half a century ago, but nowadays it's very, very rare, but still it is found. For example, I think it's like 30 some years back, this case happened in my hometown. A man from my hometown, Ningxia, went to like a seasonal worker, as a seasonal worker, migrant worker in Shanxi province, and found that there is a woman who has this extraneous situation and needed somebody to help. So he was kind of like invited to this family and functioned as her husband, but supported the woman's existing husband. So that lasted for a few years, and then let's say the woman's son or daughter was, they just said the children, so grew up, and then the man left the family and returned to Ningxia. So this is a real case. That was 30 some years. I do not know how to count today. Now it's 20, 30, okay, 1990s. All right, that's when I heard the story. It probably happened a little earlier, like 1 decade earlier. And lately, when I looked at this, searched the internet for the similar information, I found that in some other places in China, other than the 3 provinces I mentioned, also were found to have similar practices. All right, it's a hard story. It's not easy for the woman, not easy for the former husband and his family, and it's hard for everybody. But it's turned out to be a better solution for the family. All right. Thank you very much for your patience. I'm trying to do this because when I'm facing the camera, I get a little nervous, and so